this thinking of, okay, you can put your money toward here and here and here and here, and be strategic about your taxes, about your protection, about your investments. I mean, I was like in shock when they told me there are many different type of investments and not all fit all the people.
Right.
Explain that to me a little bit more. So that was, I mean, amazing.
Want to find out how you can grow your wealth with real estate 100% passively for as little as $20,000? David Bradford, COO of Drive Planning, runs a tax-lien fund that you can put your money to work and give a promised 22% every year. If your income taxes are over $80,000 a year, David has a program just for you that can cut that number in half. Visit morewithdavid.com. Transform your financial future with Drive Planning so you can keep more, make more, and live more. Check out morewithdavid.com. Hello, Empower Nation. Welcome to Empower Her Money podcast. I am your host, Angela Duncan, speaker, best-selling author, serial entrepreneur, and we are talking all things money and business. Today's episode is sponsored by David Bradford, COO of Drive Planning. Go to his website, morewithdavid.com, to learn how you can grow your wealth 100% passively. On today's episode, I am interviewing Monica Perez with Drive Planning, and we're going to talk about how to put your money to work, not with the bank, but earning passive income. Hello, Monica. Welcome to Empower Her Money podcast. How are you today?
Hello, Angela. Thank you for having me. Excellent. I'm doing excellent today. Thank you.
Thank you. So why don't we start off and talk a little bit about your story and your journey. How did you get to being a financial advisor today?
Well, it's been an interesting path. I started international business back in Colombia. So I graduated there, but when I came here 12 years ago, I started working in the insurance field. I got my insurance license, and I started working with many brokers. So I started noticing that lack of knowledge, maybe meeting many families struggling with money, living paycheck by paycheck, and all of that made me feel very not responsible, but it motivated me to start okay, there is something else that I can do for this family, just not in the protection side, but maybe getting to know a little bit more how they manage money and how can I help them and how can I guide them. So I started studying really, really hard to see how can I help, and that's what I did. I started reading many books, going into many seminars. I went into the Dave Ramsey pod. We have one Latino Dave Ramsey that is called his name is Andres Gutierrez, so I work with him. I work with many great people in the financial industry, the insurance side, and all of that. So that's how I started, being very curious about the industry, trying to learn as much as I could from the big ones. And, that's how I started. And people kept looking for me, asking me questions. How can I do this and this and this? And it's been very, very nice to see how families grow in this financial path, how they do with their money, how they can grow as a family when their kids are growing, and they can help them study what they want, or getting those big goals that they have. So it's been a very interesting journey for me.
And that's good. So that's one of the key points I think I took away from that is you were curious. And so you spent the time to invest in your education. You went and found professionals that were doing what you wanted to learn and you learned for them. So you took that time that it takes to go get education. So I really like that about your story.
Yes, and actually, I always have had that in mind. Like, if you learn something, if you read something, if you get information, but you do nothing about it, it's just entertainment. I mean, it's just, you're just spending your time, but you're not doing nothing. You're not taking action. So I'm always like that girl that does what she learns. I always try to do whatever I learned. And yeah, that's the key. That's the key, that you have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. You have to be like very curious all the time to learn something new.
Yeah. And I like that, you're in the Latino and Latino market, education about money is not very common. So you went and got your information, you got educated, and now you have the opportunity to help other families so that they can create income too, right?
Yes, Angela, believe me, that's a big challenge. I mean, we're absolutely not educated about money. I mean, in our countries, we don't have that. We just live paycheck by paycheck. We have lots of corruption from the government, from the industry. I mean, it's very hard to come here to the country of big opportunities to see. I would say that, I don't know if this is a word, but like the consumism, like that you can afford everything. I mean, you can buy here many, many things, but if you don't control that part, you're gonna be in debt. I mean,
Yes.
deeply in debt with no sense. I mean, in the bad part of the debt. So you have to be educated, because debt can be good and bad. So you have to be educated on how to be efficient with your money, productive, wise, and all of that. So that's a big challenge. But I love like teaching. I love teaching. It's like a passion. So I am very patient. So I can like sit down with a family and like, okay, let's take a moment. Let me show you this from my side. I'm gonna show you how this works. How can you improve your finances? So it's very, very interesting.
Very nice. So Drive Planning is a little bit different because you offer different services than the typical financial advisor. Talk a little about what are some different avenues that you help your clients with.
Okay, so as I started like growing my families, let's say my clients, and growing their finances, I also started like figuring out that there are many more things to do with money and not just like the normal life. So I met Drive Planning like probably I found Drive Planning like probably 4 or 5 years ago. And I love their thinking. I love their philosophy that is like out of the box. It is like the abundance kind of life, is how to be strategic with your money. You can do this many things with the same $100,000. I mean, you have $100,000 and in a good hands, in a very smart hands, you can do wonders with that. But if you give $100,000 to a person that is not educated, that can destroy it in a minute. So this thinking of, okay, you can put your money toward here and here and here and here, and be strategic about your taxes, about your protection, about your investments. I mean, I was like in shock when they told me there are many different type of investments and not all fit all the people.
Right.
Okay, explain that to me a little bit more. So that was, I mean, amazing. I love Drive Planning because it has changed me a lot. I mean, in a good way.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the real estate market, because I know that a lot of people read the news and they think that, the real estate is not somewhere maybe to invest right now. But I think through Drive Planning, there's some other options that are available. So what do you see happening in the real estate market right now?
Well, there is construction everywhere. We keep growing the real estate market right here in the US. At least we are located in Georgia. One of the offices is here. We have an office in Florida and Indianapolis, but we are growing so much here in Georgia. We have a lot of good market in the real estate part, construction side, developing. I mean, we're very solid right now, and it's something that is, we call it recession proof. Because even in the worst recession, everybody needs somewhere to live. I mean, so it's a market that is not like something that will disappear in the future. No, we always have a real estate market for everyone. Right now, we're very strong here in Georgia in terms of real estate, so we're good. And that's one of the things that we call contractual wealth. We have statement wealth and contractual wealth. The statement is the one that you have no control over. I mean, you receive your statement every 3 months from your investment company, and you only have two options. You are happy because you grow your money, or you lose your money and you're like, oh, oops, I lost something. But you have no control over that. But with the contractual wealth, you know how much you're going to make. If you have a rental property, you know that rental property, let's say, is going to give you $2,000 every month. And you know that every month you're going to receive that. So you can plan your finances in base of that earning that you're going to have. So that's the type of investments that we are focused on the contractual, controllable, and investments. And those are from real estate. Most of them are real estate based.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm a very heavy real estate investor as well, but there's like so many different options in real estate that you can do. You can buy like a single family house, you can lend money, you can buy an apartment complex, storage units. So you're at Drive Planning, you guys help like simplify that and explain the different options to your clients, right?
Yes, there are options for everyone. We have investments for for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 28 months, 36 months, 5 years, and many options. I mean, from tax liens, lending money to developers. We have Airbnb management. We have storage units. We have bridge loans, which are great. I mean, we have many bridge loans that work perfectly fine. Even one that gives you 10% every 3 months. I mean, if you have lazy money in your bank doing nothing, believe me, the money is working, but for the bank, not for you. You're getting like 80 cents every 3 months, something like that. Like, I mean, those are the type of statements that you receive. But with the bridge loans that we work, 10% every 3 months, I mean, and they're secure, they're collateralized, they are based in real estate. What else you can ask for? I mean, we have many options for everybody.
Yes. So talk a little bit about, I know that there's some different options and that you guys do a lot. You have several offices. So does each office do the same? Is it just in different areas?
Yes, we have the same philosophy. Our focus is helping the clients got 3 promises. We have keep more of your money. So we help you minimize the risk of the 5 wealth destroyers that there are in the market. We help you keep more, make more, and live more. Not only in the future, because we just want to wait for the retirement to enjoy our money. No, in Drive Planning, we help you live more right now in the present, when you have your kids young, when you have your health, when you have your energy. So we help you live more right now. So those are the promises. Keep more, make more with your money, with contractual wealth. We have a little bit of the speculative wealth too, but our main focus is the contractual, and live more. So all of our offices are based on that philosophy, on those promises.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I personally am not a big fan of stock market because you cannot control it. And especially right now when we're in a political environment, there's so many movement to the stock market that you just can't control. And a lot of times it doesn't make any sense. There's no reason why, it can go up and down other than, something in the news. Whereas with real estate, that doesn't see the same effect of it. So like if you're doing the contractual investment and you're going to get 10%, the stock market goes down, you're still making your money. So it's very different investment. And to me, that's how you build long-term wealth, right? And that's how you teach your children about investing and how you teach other people about investing, because it's not just about like what you make, but what kind of impact can you have on everybody else around you, right?
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, that's something that we have like in our soul. It's providing that security, that peace of mind, that you know exactly how much you're gonna get, how you can plan your future, because we help you that. We have something that is called the financial GPS, because you need to know where you wanna go. I mean, it's exactly when you're in the car. If you just start like driving somewhere, but you have no idea what is your final destination, where are you gonna go? So when you have your financial GPS, we help you with that route. I mean, let's focus on that. Let's get the products that are going to help you get that final destination. So we have the right products. So if you have a plan that is going to be this same year, okay, let's invest in something that is going to give you a return in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a plan for the next 2 or 3 years, let's do this differently. Of course, the base, the foundation is going to be always the protection side. So we help you create that strategy of the protection side, because I cannot plan your future with your current income. And maybe if you have an illness, or if you have something that affects that income, the plan comes down immediately.
Yeah. And I assume you have partners too. So if someone comes in and maybe they need some tax help or they need some insurance help, you have a whole family of people that you can recommend to help in those areas too.
Yes, that's the idea. We are associated with the best in the market. I mean, we have the best tax strategies in the country. We have the best accountants. We have the best developers. We have, the best coaches, because we also get like, we're coached by someone bigger than us. So right. we are associated with the best insurance company in the country. I thought that is very funny, because everybody's like, okay, and how solid is that insurance company? I mean, it's old. I mean, like 180 years old. Someone that paid lives from the Titanic, that old, that strong. So we try to associate with the best in the market. That's the key. From tax-liens, we have investments in tax-liens. So we have a company that has 30 years of experience with tax-liens, because we want to work with the best to provide the best services for our clients.
Yeah, and you touched on that too. You're still being coached by someone doing bigger things. So you're still learning. So you haven't stopped. And that's so important. I think when you hire a professional to manage your money, they need to be still learning more, because then they can help you more, right? Because the markets change, the IRS tax laws change, but you're still committed to learning more, which is going to help your clients. And that's very different, because not everybody will do that. So I would like you just to share maybe a little bit about how this journey has changed your life personally, learning about financial education. How has it changed your life and your family life from back when you just started?
Like a lot. I mean, you have to eat what you cook. If not, nobody's gonna believe you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what we do. And when I started doing that. Like, okay, I'm telling this client that he needs to he needs to get this type of life insurance, because it provides these benefits and this tax advantages and all that. So let's get that. Let's get this investment. Let's get this tax strategy. Let's get with my husband, I'm married. I have 2 kids, 3 and 6 years old. That is still like very little. So we try to prove everything that we learn from Drive Planning in our own family.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see the change. I mean, by my own, I don't think I could like do Airbnb or maybe do the insurance protection that they told me to. I needed to learn that before trying it myself. So I did it, and it's been amazing. It's been great. And people trust you when you do that in your life. I mean, they trust you when they see the change. They trust you when you have your first Airbnb working perfectly fine and it's managed 100% and it's giving you that passive income. And when you go on vacation with your returns, with your interest earned in an investment, when you go on vacation just with your passive income, everybody's like, what you're doing? I mean, help me do that. Why do you have to save like tons of money every month to go on vacation and you just go like that? Because we changed the switch.
Yeah.
We changed the switch to get passive income. Instead of working for money, we put the money to work.
Yeah.
So it's been a very, very great journey.
Yeah. And that's an important fact too. No matter what you're going to hire an expert or a coach, I ask them, show me how you've been successful at this, because I don't want to be taught by someone who hasn't done it before, because they're not an expert, right? So don't be afraid to ask your financial planner or your coach, your tax strategist, show me how you're an expert in this field. And if they're not willing to show you, then I would go somewhere else. So you've already walked it. You've done it. You've done it with your family. As your kids get older, I know you're going to teach them too and show them what you've learned. And so that just creates that generational wealth, and it changes how anyone in your life, anyone in your family, has the ability to have more freedom in their life because they're generating better income. So that's
exactly. And that's it. Yeah. That's it. Yes. Be very smart about money.
Yes. Okay, Monica, I'm going to ask you a fun question. If you could have a superpower, what would you pick and why would you pick it?
Well, I always talk about this, but I would say that I would love to go back in time. Like that everybody could have that ability to go back in time, but with the knowledge and the experience that I have today. Definitely. And not only financially speaking, but in everything. I would say that would be like a superpower for everyone, not only for me. If you have a really bad illness, that would be great that you could like back on time and make some changes in your habits, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, in the financial side, made some changes in your financial habits, or make different decisions, take different paths. I don't know. That would be very cool.
Thank you, Monica. So Monica with Drive Planning, if the audience wants to reach you to learn more about how they can invest with Drive Planning, what's the best way for them to find you?
Okay. We have our website, www.driveplanning.com. You can go there and find me. I'm part of the Latin team. So we are there. We have all our social media, Drive Planning in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are everywhere. So just go with driveplanning.com and you can find us.
Thank you so much, Monica, for your time today. There was some great information there, and I know you're doing incredible things in the Latina community, so I really appreciate you as well.
No, thank you, Angela, for this opportunity.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Empower Her Money podcast. Make sure you leave me a 5-star review, share this podcast, subscribe, and share the message.